all.
What the hell's wrong with all the snowflakes today?
What?
I said, what the hell is wrong with all the snowflake children today?
Oh.
Our generation don't melt down like that.
Melt down like what?
Well, I've been seeing these posts of these young little Gen Alphas or whatever you call them, the ones after the millennials. They're posting about, oh, you guys don't need to, you shouldn't be doing the thumbs up because we're taking it as a flip you off. And it's like, hey, snowflake.
Yeah. Well, it's like back when you and I were growing up and stuff, and we were all growing up, we didn't get offended so easily by things either.
No, our generation, man, our generation was the absolute greatest generation.
I mean,
there is no debating it whatsoever. Our generation was the greatest.
We didn't get offended by the Confederate flag. It was put on top of one of the greatest cars in TV history. The General Lee. What? We didn't get offended by our history.
Hold on a minute.
Now we're getting so offended by history, it's getting removed. And let's not forget the iconic Aunt Jemima syrup and pancake mix is no longer called that.
I know.
And I think that was just a slap in the face to the woman that it was
named after.
Yeah, that was named after.
Yeah.
I think that was just a slap in her face for all her hard work of what she did to get that far and to become that famous.
There, I unmuted you. I muted you because I was getting feedback.
I mean, having somebody, it just goes to show you how far she got, and then you take it all away by removing everything. That was bullshit.
Well, that's the whole thing,
I mean, it goes with everybody getting too soft.
Like I said, our generation was the greatest generation.
Yeah, but you got to consider the parents who made them that way.
No, it's not always the parents, though.
Here's the problem with
society, too.
No, listen, here's the problem with that, though. Their parents were our kids.
Yeah.
Why would our kids learning from us teach their kids to be little fucking snowflake pussies?
No, they learn it from school.
Yeah.
And because between our generation and our kids being, in their 30s now, you take those kids that grew up with, we made them go outside and play. We made them have an imagination, and we did that with it because I know for a fact you and I, we spent time with our kids in that way, outdoors, doing things, using their imaginations. But after a certain point, you can't control them kids anymore, and it's like they've got these damn things in their hands now that might as well just be glued to their hands. Because if you go to a family function nowadays, all these kids were sitting there talking to each other while they're in the same room on these damn phones.
I get that. And part of this mess is our generation's fault too. Because we actually
I get that, but
our children use these. Our children give their children these to occupy them.
Yeah, way too early.
I think they give their kids phones to quiet them up is what they do.
Yeah, and I think cell phones. I mean, cell phones is a great a great invention, a great thing to bring out. Okay,
But
but it's something that shouldn't be in the hands of any child until the child's old enough to be going out
well,
and playing on their own without the adult with them. And you know,
it's
the
sad. But anyway,
cell phones aren't going to teach them respect.
We're gonna-
The cell phone's not going to teach them anything.
I decided we're going to talk about, since I know we're not going to have a whole lot of company because there's a lot of shit going on in other people's lives right now. So I got a few things and a few videos, but it's all from 1985.
Mm-hmm.
How old were you?
85. I was a sophomore in high school.
About 16, 17. Mark was probably about a junior?
No, Lisa's a month older than me.
I started late because of my birthday.
Lisa's a month older than me.
I'm older than Mark by a month and a half.
Yeah.
Hi, Janet.
Yeah, that's what we had for my grandkids
Janet,
when they were around here.
That's exactly that. That's
that and the playground across the way that was across the way that they.
Well, I grew up out in the country, so I had to have imagination. I didn't have access to go to certain things in town or anything like that.
On rainy days, my brother and I, because we lived in a townhouse that had a basement, and we had this area in the basement that was like for our toy box and our toys, and for us to play in, so we wouldn't disturb them upstairs. Well, we used to have these great big cardboard boxes that stored all the refrigerators when the apartment complex was brand new. We collected like 6 or 7 of those boxes, and we made ourselves forts out of those boxes in the basement. And we had one hell of an imagination. I mean, we had like you'd go get an old serrated steak knife, to cut the door in the box or little windows. Actually, I was so into things that I took, batteries down there and wire and stuff and hooked up lights, little light bulbs and stuff, and made it look like a computer on the outside.
Christmas tree lights.
No, they were more like flashlight bulbs, different colors, like red, yellow, and the white. I made it kind of look more like a really big jumbo type computer.
I had a remote control dune buggy.
Think of it as oversized one of those electronic kit things that you could get from Radio Shack back in the day that were like 1,001 projects.
Why do you got your phone in there to disturb us?
She's got a hot date or something, apparently. I guess. I don't know.
Whatever. Tanya's probably not home. That's
probably Tanya calling.
Yeah. No, I had a hell of an imagination as well. But see, I used to have a remote controlled dune buggy. Where
you had a lot of toys.
I had a lot of toys. I lived out in the country too.
My dad,
you had more toys than I had.
But if I wanted to go to the store, I got on my bike and I rode the 6 miles and I went to the store.
My dad got us a couple of cool toys back in the day. We had those gas-powered plane that you had. It
wasn't attached to a rope. It was a controller with the strings on it. They went in through the wing, and it was gas powered. You started it up, and you turned around in circles while you were making it go up and down.
No, this was actually like the cars. There was a car. You'd have to put like the D-cell battery in there, the fuel in the tank, and then you'd have a rope that you'd have to wrap around the big tire in the back, and you'd have to pull it like a lawnmower. And when you did, that thing took off. You'd want a pretty good straightaway for that without any obstacles.
That's a drag car.
But the plane version of that was on a rope, and it would fly up and it would go around in a circle if you did it just right. We made that crash and started a fire, though. Actually, I didn't. The old man did. He wouldn't let us play with the plane, but he let us play with the car. You know, the car was just made out of plastic. You know, all you needed was like a clear dirt road or a clear road or something or sidewalk to run it on.
I had toys, but I played more with my brothers and the stuff they did.
Well, we were more into because we had those bikes with the banana seats and you know, we were more into building ramps and seeing what we could do.
No.
You had the sissy bikes. I had a BMX.
Well, that was early on in the 70s. After a while, they became the dirt bikes, you know. And speaking of that, I had a dream about something that happened in the past. And you know where, all right, South Stoughton Road, 51, right? That's 51, or is that 151? That's 51.
That's 51.
All right, so go down to Flom Road, and that the intersection of that and Flom Road. Actually, on the other side, actually, on the Farm and Fleet side, there's the apartments just on the opposite side if you're going towards the Beltline. They're like Glendale townhouses.
Yep, I know where they're at.
Now, I used to live there. Now, the opposite side of the street from Buckeye down past Flom Road was nothing but huge, massive dirt mounds for as far as the eye could see.
Hang on now. Flom was south of Buckeye.
Right. So it went from Buckeye to Flom Road on the other side. It was all nothing but.
Oh, before that all got developed in there.
All right. Over there where, you know, the clinic is, and then you got all those other things.
Yeah, over there where the frontage road is and where all the industrial is that probably wasn't in there yet, huh?
Right. So all of that was nothing but these massive, huge dirt mounds. All right. We were outside one year. I couldn't have been more than 8 or 9 years old. And these two guys were on the motorized dirt bikes. You know,
that's what they're called, dirt bikes.
And not and not little ones either. They were more like 200-300. You know, they weren't like the little mini bike, like little 80s, like the dirt bike.
200cc, 300cc.
Yeah, so this wasn't an 80. These were like 200 plus cc bikes. Okay,
So
and they're up there
with,
and this is in the 70s, and they're up there on this. No helmets, no protective gear, nothing.
Sounds like me.
Okay.
And trying to be Evel Knievel, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That kind of sounds like me.
It turned extremely tragic. That whole, I'll never forget it because the whole place turned into nothing but sirens. Everything from the fire department to ambulance to squad cars. You know, parts of the roads were shut down and stuff for the emergency vehicles because it was hard to get over there in the first place without some kind of, you know, it was more where you'd see trucks coming. Trucks would come and go, grab the dirt and take it someplace else. Okay, so you'd only see the heavy duty equipment in there once in a while. And to make a long story short, neither one of those kids survived.
Well, That is sad.
And if the one did, he would have been a paraplegic.
Yeah, that's not a way to live either.
No, but
Just a pair, not a quadra.
Every time I think of that, I feel so
Quadriplegic's neck down, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
I feel so grateful because of all the stupid shit I did.
Well, somebody was watching
number of the things that I did when I was a kid, and thank God there's no recordings of it anywhere, could have gotten me killed. And I wasn't even half as stupid as those guys on the Jackass movies.
No. Hey, I did so much shit in my life that I'm surprised I'm still here and living and walking.
We did crazy shit like
considering all the stuff your brothers and sisters did to you.
We'd steal the old metal shopping carts. We'd find a really big hill and we'd get inside of them and we'd
that was before the Jackass movies.
That
was before the Jackass movies.
Yeah,
we did the same thing in the Jackass movies.
Yeah, but we did it too.
So did they learn that from you guys?
They learned that from the 70s. That was just one of the many stupid things we did. I used to jump off the roof of the house. We had those playgrounds.
When the hell did you do that?
He'd take a bed sheet, tie it around his neck like that, take the corners, bring it in, tie it around his neck. And then he'd take the end of it, and hold it like this and be like, "Hey, super bitch," and jump off the fucking roof saying, "I can fly."
Okay, enough of that bullshit. But in 85, I graduated. But did you know that there was a lot of history in 85?
There's a lot of history in all of them.
There's a lot of history in every year. There's always something going on. What happened in 85?
No, I'm going to tell you. All right.
Unfrosted Pop-Tarts came.
But first, I'm going to do this thing. Do you know how much things cost in 85?
A lot cheaper than they are now.
Oh, you can bet on it.
A shit ton cheaper than they are now.
The median price of an existing home at that time, $75,500.
Yeah, but
you gotta remember
what size it was. Average cost of a new house was $89,300. All right. Average monthly rent was $375, and again, that doesn't say how big of a bedroom. Average price for a new car, $9,000.
It's like $9,000-$10,000.
$9,005 was the average price for a brand new car. How about a gallon of gas? Anybody want to guess what that was?
A gallon of gas, I think, was 60-something cents or 70 cents.
85. It was like $1. It was like $1 something.
It was $1.09.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah,
how about a movie ticket?
I don't know.
It was like $2.
It's a lot cheaper than it is now, for sure. I know that.
$2.75.
How about roller skating?
How about how much did a U.S. postage stamp cost?
Oh, back then I think it was like 4 or 5 cents.
22 cents.
25 cents.
22 cents.
Ah, that's close.
Bacon was $1.65 a pound.
Was it now like $8-9?
Ground beef was $1.39 a pound.
That's about.
And you could get a 5-pound bag of potatoes for $1.
If you go to Woodman's, you actually could.
You still can.
Yeah.
At Woodman's, you can still get a 5-pound bag of potatoes for $1.
Yep.
And ground beef is you can find it as low as $2.99 a pound.
Coca-Cola Company introduced new Coke.
Yeah, and that didn't go over very well. A lot of people got
I
pissed.
don't know. I've never been a
Coke.
Coke
I don't know.
person.
I'm not a Coke person either.
You know, I did
Neither
try
am I.
Pepsi. I did try Pepsi, and I did try Coke. Both
I like
products.
Pepsi.
Okay.
There's a difference between Pepsi and Coke. You can taste it.
And I'll tell you what, I can understand why people say that, you know, you want to remove rust and stuff off of you know, metal and stuff. Just, you know, pour some Coke over it.
My brother's friend Chris used to wash his greasy pants with Coca-Cola.
There was a thing
grease on
that,
his pants and
Coke
take it
was
right out.
better. Coke was a better remover than mom spit.
So, do you know why Coca-Cola was called Coca-Cola?
Yeah, because it used to contain cocaine in it.
Yep.
Why did they start it and why did they stop it?
I don't know. I don't have that history.
The original recipe of Coca-Cola had cocaine in it because it was known to be an addictive substance. Therefore, they put a trace of it in there in order to get the populace addicted. The reason they stopped it is because cocaine became a known narcotic.
I'm going to have to check that out. I still have Netflix for a short time.
I don't.
Oh, we don't have Netflix anymore.
I don't have Netflix.
I can only watch it on one, you know, I can't watch it in 3 or 4 rooms because I'm not paying for that. Live Aid happened.
Live Aid, yeah. I remember that.
Man, that concert was huge.
Mm-hmm.
Televised.
It was in like 3 different countries, wasn't that?
Did they have We Are the World thing around that time too?
No.
No?
That came after. No, it came.
Oh.
We Are the World, I believe.
Live Aid concerts in Philadelphia and London.
Okay.
Wembley Stadium.
Like Wembley, yeah.
Wembley
Raised
Stadium.
over $50 million for famine relief in Ethiopia.
Mm-hmm.
Live Aid concerts were held during July of 1985. They were a series of rock concerts held to raise funds for relief in Ethiopia and around the world. They took place in cities including London, Philadelphia, Sydney, and Moscow.
Oh.
Okay.
Well,
the concerts attracted close to 200,000 people, and by using satellite link-ups and TV broadcasts around the world, they attracted over 1 billion viewers in 110 countries who watched the concerts performed live.
I believe that.
Yep. And Queen almost missed out.
Notable acts included are B.B. King, Bob Dylan, Cher, David Bowie, Duran Duran, Elton John, Hall & Oates, Lionel Richie, Madonna, Paul McCartney, Queen, Run DMC, and U2.
Oh.
Now that was quite the lineup for that concert.
Good lineup, yeah.
And
it covers a lot of genre because Run DMC's in there as a rap.
You know, you had Run DMC under rap.
Madonna's pop.
You know, Madonna and Cher kind
they
of.
Didn't have a country person in there though.
Didn't need
to.
That
was Willie Nelson's farm aid.
Oh yeah.
They didn't need to.
Yeah.
I mean, and then you had like.
No, they didn't need to. I'm just saying, it's not one of the.
You had a lot of
varieties.
big greats there. You know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but Queen almost missed out.
Yeah.
Because of Freddie.
Well, it's because of the guy that was manipulating Freddie.
Yeah, but still, you can kind of blame Freddie for that because
he. Well, yeah, because he let it happen.
Yeah.
You know.
But still,
I mean, that was a sad story. When I saw
that was one of the best.
It makes me want to watch Bohemian Rhapsody again.
when I
I
saw
know.
that movie for the first time, okay, one, Remy nailed it.
Yes,
Oh
he
yeah,
did.
He nailed that role.
Rami Malek looked just
really
like
did.
him.
And they did a great job at casting the whole thing.
He did a great job
the
at
band
casting the
members.
other band members too.
Band
That's what
members
I
like
said.
just like
They did a
them.
great job at casting the whole thing. Okay. But it really gave me an inside perspective on his life and how Queen started. And that's another one of those bands that they're like AC/DC without, well, no, without Angus, AC/DC wouldn't survive. Okay. And without they got lucky and actually found an actual second lead singer. That was a rarity for AC/DC because when Bon Scott happened,
Scott,
they almost didn't find Brian Johnson to take his place.
Yeah.
Now, but without Freddie Mercury, because that guy was not just a great lead vocalist for that band, but he was most of the musical genius behind it.
Oh yeah.
You know, by the way they perform their songs, the lyrics, because he wrote some of them. I mean, it just without him, the only thing it's going to be is a tribute band.
No.
Yeah, but still, I mean, he made Queen. You know,
Yeah,
he was.
Hey, I got a question. I got a question.
He was Queen.
So I said,
I got a question.
Yeah.
Did Journey start before 1985? How come they weren't there?
Journey on REO started right
After?
around that time, 80 in the early 80s, but they probably didn't get asked
Maybe
because they weren't one of the top names. I mean, look at those
they're
names.
starting out, maybe, yeah.
Yeah, but you look at those names. BB King. Everybody knows who he is.
I seen him at the Tom Petty concert.
If you know music, everybody knows who BB King is. Bob Dylan, one of the greatest.
He's a good music writer, but he sucks at singing.
But still.
Here's the funny thing. I actually won a contest because of Bob Dylan, because of knowing some of his music.
But see, he's a legend. And at that time, he was a legend.
Right.
At that time, kind of.
I just
Cher.
Oh, Cher, definitely.
I mean, she was a legend.
You know, why didn't they ask Elvis? Because Elvis is still alive.
Oh, Janet says
Elvis wasn't alive. Elvis died in 1977.
You know, Elton John.
Is that a trick question?
About done.
Was that a trick question?
That wasn't a question because you were asking why Journey and REO weren't on that list, and Janet just said Journey was about done by 85, meaning they were done touring and probably broke up for the first time.
Steve Perry.
They've been apart.
Went his own way.
Solo, yeah.
They were apart that long ago? Wow, okay. Damn.
And
well,
then instead
the other thing about him,
because about that time, Oh Sherry was making its hit on MTV, the video.
They had a post picture on Facebook the other day of him. He's 75 already. You believe Steve Perry is 75 years old?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, isn't it?
Still looks the same. His face is
one of my
brothers. He's got gray hair, but
my brother Tony lived less than 2 blocks away from Steve Perry's parents.
All right, here's one for you. Here's a little bit of trivia from 1985. See if you can get this right.
Okay.
You listening, Janet?
No, we're all wrong.
The popular comic strip, well, let's put it this way. What popular comic strip made its debut during November of 1985, created by Bill Watterson?
Calvin and Hobbes.
I had no idea.
Give the man a cookie.
Ooh.
It was Calvin and Hobbes.
Oh, I never heard of
You never heard of Calvin and Hobbes?
it.
Calvin and his
Stuffed tiger.
stuffed tiger Hobbes.
Calvin's pretty much the one that you see on those little stickers on the back of people's car windows, pissing into something. I got
Okay.
my
Yeah.
website got shut down by the Calvin and Hobbes.
That one. Okay. Yeah.
Well, almost got shut
Yeah,
down.
Janet, the tiger and the little
The
boy.
little boy.
I
Yeah.
got you now. Okay. Yeah. All right. Okay. What's another trivia, Joe?
Oh, he told me he doesn't like doing the trivias. We're not doing them anymore.
No, I just said I had a
Only when he wants to. Only when Joe
more
wants
fun
to.
when we have a bigger group, though, too.
I know.
What United States route is removed from the United States highway system?
66.
66.
Yep.
It's
Established
When they
in
remove it.
1966, Route 66 was one of the first highways created in the United States highway system, immortalized in television, film, song, and literature. The iconic road spanned a total of 2,448 miles in length, running from Chicago, Illinois to Santa Monica, California.
Why'd they remove it?
They removed it because they built the superhighway systems, which is the Highway 20, Highway 10,
So 66 is a scenic
Highway
highway.
40.
fell into disrepair as it was replaced by the interstate system.
Yeah, the
So
superhighway
66
system, the interstates.
So 66 is probably more of a scenic highway now.
Yep.
It is, but it's not a fully connected highway anymore. There's sections of it that you can't even travel on because of the fact that it's so depleted and never been kept up.
The year I was graduating, and I was still a video game junkie.
Hard to believe he graduated.
What 8-bit system was released in '85?
That would be the Nintendo. What, did I get 2 cookies because I got it right?
That would be what?
I said the Nintendo.
The Nintendo Entertainment System was released in North American markets during October of 1985.
And then Sega came out a little bit after that
You guys in your video
with the
game.
Master System.
The NES was originally launched with 17 games, including Duck Hunt, and
Super
Ice
Mario
Climber.
Brothers, Ice Climber. Kirby's probably one of them.
They didn't sell. The system didn't initially sell as much as the market for video games had dropped out. With Nintendo's U.S. release of their breakout game Super Mario Brothers later that year, the NES, the Nintendo, caught on in the U.S. and was a popular distributor. And today, there's like generations of that Nintendo system.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you went from that one to the Super Nintendo.
You went from the NES to the SNES to the N64 to the GameCube to the Wii to the Wii U, and now you have the Switch.
It's just
But you also had handhelds in there. You had the Game Boy, the Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy DS, Game Boy 3DS. And the Switch is a combination of both console and handheld.
Wow.
So yeah, Nintendo's come a long way with what they've created.
All the systems have, but
And then
Nintendo and Sega were the original two after Atari.
Yes, Atari wasn't really the first either. You had
I know, but I'm saying they were the like Nintendo and Sega were like Coke and Pepsi of the video game systems when they came out.
Yeah, kind of, because they were the biggest rival of each other. You
Right.
also had
Nobody else compared to them.
But you also had Coleco. Coleco
Yeah,
had a hand in it, and Coleco actually was not a video game company in the beginning, because they're the ones that actually backed the Cabbage Patch Dolls.
I remember them.
So Coleco was actually a toy company, and then they got their hands into the video games by creating the Coleco system, the ColecoVision, and they also did something very smart, which was they went and talked to Atari and got permission to make a device that plugged into the Coleco that would play the Atari games. So being able to do that, the ColecoVision with the adapter. I mean, you can't forget Intellivision. Intellivision, I think, was the ones that brought out Pitfall.
Right. With the little handheld games that came out prior to all of that stuff.
Intellivision didn't have little handheld games. Theirs was similar to the ColecoVision.
Right, but those ColecoVision and Intellivision, those two were the biggest two for those little handheld games that you could take with you that took like a 9-volt battery or whatever.
Coleco did do the handhelds too.
And most of those were out before the Nintendo was out. Because I remember having those as a kid. In '85, man, I was graduating from high school and I was 18. You know. But, you know, I also realized something as I was doing the research on 1985. It was the last year, and I'm going to share this, because all these cars that you see, these are pictures of cars, okay?
It was the last year they made which car?
No. It's not the last year they made a car. It's the last year of some of the coolest looking cars from that era. You know? I mean, here. There's the Cutlass.
That's a Cutlass.
That's the
85 Cutlass Supreme.
Right?
Go scroll up one.
Probably. That's the Corvette.
Yeah, no, that one right there, you got your cursor over.
That's a Buick Regal.
That's an 85.
My brother had a Buick Regal. Yeah.
That's an 85 Buick Regal.
My brother had one of them.
These are all these cars pictured are from 85.
Okay, mine was the 84 Buick Regal, which was the Olympics edition.
And there's a 85 Pontiac Firebird.
Mm-hmm.
There's the 85 Camaro. That one kind of sucked compared to the older ones from the 70s. You know, here's the Trans Am from 85, basically known as Kit.
Yeah.
Actually, that is Kit.
Is that Kit?
Yeah. Look at
it's a Pontiac Firebird Trans Am. Well, this other one was a Trans Am as well.
You know, and there's the Camaro IROC Z. But here, there's when the Suburban really looked like something, and there's a couple of different versions.
Well, the Suburban was a rolling tank, and
that era. But I'm saying, you look at it today, or the one after that, they kind of, you know.
Look at the Toyota Corolla.
That looks like a death trap, man.
Then there's the Celica there next to the red Firebird. Porsche hasn't changed their looks much.
No.
Toyota 4Runner.
And there's Buick Grand National, one of the rarest and most sought after cars in the world.
That's the 1985 Buick Regal Grand National.
Right.
That, if I'm not mistaken, I think the Grand National had a twin turbo on it.
That car from Back to the Future, wasn't that an 85 car?
This one just says the Buick Grand National, though. It's not the
Well, the Buick Grand National, during that era, during that time, the Buick Grand National was the fastest American production car right off the showroom floor without ever having anything tweaked on it. It was faster than the fucking Corvette.
And there's the Grand Prix, the Grand Prix.
Yep, my uncle had one of those.
Wow, that matches you.
My uncle had a blue one.
That was actually a really cool car. I was looking for mine.
You had one of those, right? A Grand Prix?
Yeah, but mine, I had a Grand Prix. Yeah, right. I did have a Grand Prix, but it was an older model. But I did have a car from '85, and I'm looking for it.
What the hell is a Jaguar doing in there? Right above the black Cutlass, that's a Jaguar.
It's a 1985.
But it made in '85.
XJS.
On the top of the page, it said hits of '85.
Yeah, these are all cars. All these cars are from 1985. There's the Ford Bronco.
Why is B.A. Baracus' car not in there, or his van? And then you got the Monte Carlo down here too. Look,
that's the car I was looking for, right there. There's my car. Actually, it didn't look like that though. It didn't look that good, I should say. It was more like primer black, no red pinstriping. It did have the mag wheels.
Yeah, none of those Regals looked like what mine did whenever I had it tricked out.
But I didn't have it in '85. I had the '85 like right after I was out of that, about '98. I think I had it right after the hospital stint.
Was that one on fire?
What on fire?
That one right there looks like.
May 31st.
A tornado outbreak. It's not fire.
Oh, tornado. Okay.
Tornado outbreak.
The smallest. Yeah, I couldn't see what it was. Okay.
Fashion bug. Oh my god.
Wow. Hey, there's what we were just talking about.
That was Live Aid. Yes.
What?
Yeah. Live Aid. What we were just talking about.
Oh yeah. There was a Lincoln Town Car from '85.
Yeah.
85 Cadillac Fleetwood.
That's a Fleetwood. I was just gonna say, and there's a Seville below it.
Mm-hmm.
Buick LeSabre.
Yeah.
Hey, look, a Hoopty Mobile.
They still make station wagons back then.
Yeah.
You don't see those anymore.
That's a Caprice.
No.
Here's the funny thing.
Chevy Caprice station wagon.
Gina's dad had one of those.
And there's the squad cars from back then, the Chevy Caprices.
Yeah.
They used to use those for squad cars.
Yeah.
Gina's dad had a Chevy Caprice wagon.
There's one I always wanted.
I can picture driving that.
I always wanted and never got a chance, but I always wanted the El Camino, man. There's the Blazer. There's the Chevy Blazer.
Yeah, that's what your brother was all.
Hey, they were.
Hyped
I
over.
liked them. I liked the S10s.
That bike, is that a
S10
Harley?
bodies. S10 body style. Over there, the bike. Yeah, it's a Harley. Harley Davidson.
1985 Harley Low Glide.
Oh no.
Godzilla.
And look at that. You had them.
The Jordans.
Air Jordans. Yeah.
And
Yeah,
an 85 Honda.
In 85, it said that he made Rookie of the Year in 1985.
Well, maybe, I don't know.
No, I'm saying that's what I saw. Whoops. Yeah. There's a Honda.
Yeah, that's what I said. Honda.
There's a Goldwing.
That's a Honda as well.
Right.
That's their cruiser. That has the king and queen seat on it.
And those were a lot of City of Madison employees.
Department?
No, employees, like the ones that work for the bus company, the parks department, and other places like that were owned and operated by the city. They had a group, and it was called the Honda Goldwingers.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a big Madison chapter. My dad was part of it, and I think he paid his way in somehow, because he didn't own. He was one of maybe a few of them that didn't own a Honda or a Honda Goldwing
Or a motorcycle in general.
Oh, he had an 1100 Suzuki.
Suzuki.
It was a full dresser.
Mm-hmm.
I had that car. Actually, I think that was like the same year too that I owned those. I had 2 of them. Delta 88. I had 2 of them at once. I had 2 of those at once. There's another bike. There's a Harley Sportster. The Jeeps back then, they looked tough, didn't they?
Those were
the off-road models of, like the running. That's the Wrangler Renegade.
The CJ7s and
yep.
the CJ7s were based on military design. The military
That's this one.
And then the Wranglers were also based off of that too.
Look, it's the Back to the Future Toyota truck.
Maybe.
The Land Rover. That was quite a few cars. Okay. Check this out. See if you remember these. All these commercials are from 1985. Okay.
Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah.
Pixels.
Did they? That was a great movie.
That was good, yeah.
Wow, this looks like you're loading.
It looks like I'm loading.
Did you say you're loaded?
No.
Yeah, he is. He's loaded.
Loaded with something.
He's high and loaded.
Tommy in the Order of Cosmic Champions.
Yeah, they make.
Do you notice?
But the McDonald's still had the containers.
But at the same time,
styrofoam. Click
Yeah.
your.
Did you
click
notice?
your thing.
Did you notice that when he gets a picture of that burger, that those burgers don't look anything like that anymore? They haven't for decades, for at least the last 2 decades. Yeah, they did. Back then they did.
They never looked like that because of the fact that the ones they show in the commercial they're fake.
Well,
They're not a real burger.
I get that because they make them look better, but at least they look. The burgers were
That's a Big
juicy
Mac.
back then.
Big Mac.
And the ones that you get when you go there are
Those burgers don't look
epic.
like juicy anymore, but they used to back then. That's what I'm saying.
I know.
You used to
It's
squeeze it. It was like going to a bar and getting a bar burger.
Nah,
If it
bar
ain't
burgers are better than
messy, it
McDonald's.
ain't messy. You ain't getting grease over your fingers. It ain't good. And those
Hey, look, you didn't notice that.
Yeah, I did. I said it was a great movie.
Janet said the Goonies came out in '85.
Yeah, that's what I just said. He never noticed it.
No. I don't know if I remember that one. Sumo wrestler.
Yeah. Dodge Plymouth. They're both the same fucking company. That was a Dodge Colt. Plymouth Colt.
Elmer.
We don't have any sound.
Elmer.
Super Beta and VHS.
Look at that. In 85, I was just going to say there was still Betamax, but they had the Super Beta out. That must have only lasted about a year or two, though, because...
Yeah, but look how big they are compared to how big they are.
Oh, yeah. They were huge, and they were expensive, too.
Yeah.
When they first came out.
My dad, I actually got Mom to talk Dad into getting us a VHS.
Mm-hmm.
And it cost us $500 for a fucking VHS.
Yep, I believe it.
That's a lot.
Brand new, those things averaged about $4.50.
Brand new, got it from Montgomery Rewards on their credit thing. Yeah, that's what you're having problems with is the sound. We're not hearing anything, Joe.
Are you supposed to?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, you know what Bugs Bunny sounds like. Yeah, Elmer.
Conan the Barbarian. The Conan sword.
The first camcorder that was portable.
Yeah.
The Panasonic.
Before that, you had to carry around a VHS thing, and it wasn't battery, so you had to find a place to plug that in. So it was a actual VHS recorder, okay? And then you had a camera attached to that by wires, and that motherfucker was bigger than that and heavy as hell. That was one of the...
That little kid, actually, I remember that kid.
That was one of the first portable cameras they had.
Panasonic.
KFOG 1045. Keep on. If I'm not mistaken, that was the Los Angeles.
She's got black stuff in her teeth.
That was the Los Angeles channel. Huge.
Never heard that one.
Heard what? K-Fog?
Yeah.
Los Angeles channel. La Choy, Chinese pea pods. Chinese food. Oh my god, I'd love some right now. Big old fucking plate of General Tso's chicken.
That sounds good.
Doesn't it? Orange chicken. General Tso's and orange chicken. So fact.
At first, I thought it was Mr. Clean.
Yeah, it wasn't. It's not him. No,
Did Telly Savalas?
no. Some other
I didn't tell
dude.
Savalas, but boy, it's funny.
Some bald dude. Yeah.
It's a tough act to follow. I remember those too.
No.
That Little Caesars.
And Wendy's maybe. I think maybe Wendy's. I don't know.
Could be.
Trying to see what's on their aprons. I can't see.
Round table.
Round
Oh
table.
my god, Round Table Pizza. Yeah, I used to work.
Did you used
for a Round Table.
Yeah, they used to work for them.
Yes, I worked for a Round Table Pizza.
Where was that? In
Yeah.
California?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And it was
They didn't have
absolutely
that here.
awesome. It was absolute awesome.
Well,
pizza.
yeah, it's because it was in California.
Oh, well, we had things that they didn't have either.
Right.
Yeah.
No.
Not everything was nationwide. Ugh.
Sea Breeze, I remember that. Had a nasty smell to it. Smelled like
Sea
alcohol.
Breeze.
Like rubbing alcohol on your face.
Zip cleaner. What it would do is dry out your pores so they wouldn't clog up.
Yeah, but it smelled like alcohol. Different. It's like rubbing alcohol on your face.
Fancy Feast?
Could be.
Ramen noodles. Or it's cat food. Oh.
Yeah. Okay. The menu.
Yeah.
Hey, Lisa, look, she's got fish stick.
Yeah, I like fish sticks. Those are fish fillets, actually. Or no, I guess not. I guess they're fish sticks.
Yeah, it was.
Yep. Yep, it was, and that's why you got those are Gordon's.
Gordon's Fisherman.
Yeah, the Gordon's Fisherman.
Just a Gordon.
Scrubbing Bubbles.
Scrubbing bubbles out.
By
Now. Yeah.
Cling Wrap. Or
Handy
Handy Wrap.
wrap. Handy wrap sucks ass.
Handy Wrap too.
Handy wrap sucks.
See? Handy Wrap too. Clean Plus.
Yeah, clean my ass. I don't think so. Oh, Vanderbilt perfume.
Vanderbilt.
Gloria Vanderbilt perfume.
Oh,
My sister-in-law Renee used to wear that.
Vanderbilt.
No.
And Vanderbilt
It was a good smelling perfume. It was just
at Macy's.
it was expensive.
Now, I know you guys had Macy's.
Oh, that was Lily Tomlin.
Was it?
I'm pretty sure it was.
Fruit and Fiber. Total.
Hey.
Bars.
Candy
Oh, those were good too.
Well, they still are good. Soft and crunchy. That has been hard and crunchy.
There's the original.
Original.
Yep.
Still. Toffee. Love toffee.
Chocolate covered toffee.
I love toffee. TWA.
Leading the way, TWA. Trans World Airlines. The gourmet, the budget gourmet. I'm starting to get hungry just watching this. And the reason we used to get these, my mom and I would go to.
I remember those.
That was a Sony, if I remember right. That little pocket television. Sony, man, they were the ones that came out first with the Walkman, the Discman.
Sony had a lot of good stuff.
Oh, it was an American Express commercial.
Oh wow!
Uh,
And I'm pretty sure Sony came out with the first.
Yeah, I think they did.
Television like that.
I want a Heath bar. Yeah, me too.
The movie special of the week.
Oh, commercial. Real one.
Yeah, Janet. All of us do, because those things were good. New Silver update. Janet says she wants a Heath bar now.
Oh, yeah, no kidding. Those are good. Anything with toffee and chocolate, I'll eat it. I don't care.
Grand Apple.
Ocean spray.
Ocean spray.
There's round table again.
Yep. Round table pizza.
Honest pizza.
The honest pizza. Hey, that's a Volkswagen convertible. Cabriolet.
You know, the one thing you probably wouldn't see
Have a
is
Volkswagen thing on there.
a commercial that came from around here.
Wait. That is a local.
That's a local
Volkswagen Subaru dealer.
Yeah.
Van Nuys.
San Francisco.
Van Nuys Avenue in San Francisco.
Yeah,
Ron Greenspan.
that's what I'm saying. Whoever made this did some like local.
What they call it? Why do they pronounce it Van Nuys when it's spelled Van Ness?
Van Ness.
Van Ness. Van Nuys.
Van Ness Avenue.
Van Ness.
I think I said Van Nuys, didn't I? Van Nuys is in Southern Cal, down in the LA area.
Yeah.
My bad.
That's all right. I was trying to
There we
figure
go.
out your...
I got something for some local. I got
whatever you caught. I don't want.
No.
What are you looking at, Marky?
My phone.
Oh.
Checking my account balance.
Oh. Why is that food starting to make you hungry?
Yes. Especially the Chinese. I haven't had Chinese in a long time.
Yeah.
But Chinese is always expensive.
Yeah. I know. I don't know why.
Why are we not having sound, Joe? It's driving me crazy.
No kidding.
I don't know why.
You broke it, Joe.
You should have had the sound.
There's no sound, Joe.
This must be he showed us hair. It must be a thing for hair.
Yep.
losing his hair. Just pay a toupee. It's easier.
Bringing them in off the range.
There we go.
The free consumer information
That's better.
catalog from Pueblo, Colorado, 81009.
Oh, I remember that. The consumer.
Pueblo? Hold your horses, boys. There's
Yep.
one left. But the new one will be here in the next mail. Any minute.
Yes, it's the free catalog from the Consumer Information Center of the U.S. government.
With more than 200 fact-filled federal publications, and many are free.
Or looky here. It lists booklets on jobs, food and money, health, safety, exercise, even cars.
Cars?
And
I don't even know if that's still a thing anymore.
Mail from Pueblo.
I don't think so, because the commercials no longer exist.
Catalog, Pueblo, Colorado.
You'd have to look it up on
Pueblo, Colorado, 81009.
on the internet
Halloween
to
will
see.
soon be here. That means
Garfield.
we can all go trick or treating. I'm
No,
going
we-
dressed as a cat. There are some important things to remember about trick or treating, so we can all have a safe and happy Halloween. First, go trick or treating while it's still light. Take a flashlight and wear reflective strips on your costume just in case you get back home a little late. If you wear a mask instead of costume makeup, be sure you can see clearly at all times. Wear a light-colored costume, short enough so you won't trip. Stay in your own neighborhood and visit only the homes of people you know. Accept only wrapped or packaged candy and have mom or dad look at your treats before you eat any of them. Hey, watch it. There's a cat here. Oh, yeah, that reminds me. Be sure to watch for traffic. Follow Garfield's safety tips and you'll enjoy Halloween. I'm going to get ready to go trick-or-treating right
I
now.
remember Garfield safety
After I
tips.
take a nap.
A Halloween safety message from the National Safety Council.
And Garfield.
When you're saving lives, you can't let your transmission die. That's why many ambulance routes go where it's better than fixed. It's AMCO.
Oh wow.
Like to try
Oh, it's
Total?
old.
No, we've been eating shredded wheat since our little girl could hold a spoon.
Well, hope you're hungry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great, because you'll each have to eat 12 bowls of shredded wheat to get the vitamin nutrition in just one bowl of Total.
12 bowls? 12 bowls?
Uh-huh. Total has 100% of 9 vitamins and iron. It takes 12 bowls of shredded wheat.
It makes a difference when you can hear it.
She did a Home Alone.
One bowl, 100%.
The Grand Coulee Dam, built to harness the power of the Columbia River and provide electricity for millions. That took bold imagination, and it made this country grow. Today, I see that same kind of imagination in hundreds of small to mid-sized companies whose new ideas, new jobs, and new technologies will continue to build America. At First Jersey Securities, we specialize in discovering such emerging growth companies for today's
First Jersey.
vision. First Jersey Securities. Come grow with us.
Get a good night's sleep and save 50% on selected premium quality Sealy Posturepedics and King Coil Posture Bond mattresses right
What
now.
else are watching anyway?
There's only one radio station that has it all. Fun, cash, and hot hits. It's 105 Kids.
This new military-grade hiking stick is the Swiss Army knife of the modern era, and it's being given away.
American Airlines invites you to experience life's greatest beach, Waikiki.
I remember those commercials.
American Airlines.
If a woman wants to succeed in business, does she have to act like a man? I'm Winston Crisp, editor of Savvy, the magazine for executive women.
I almost
Can you
thought
take
that
a
was
big
like a
and
Saturday
still
Night Live
completely allow
commercial
yourself
or
to be a
something.
Sure you can.
Could be.
Especially if you use
You know, like one of those parody
Savvy, the
commercials.
magazine you use to make business work for you. Use your Savvy to learn what to do when you're smarter than your boss. The wrong way to write your resume. The right way to quit your job when an office romance can lead to profit.
What to do when you're smarter than your boss.
Great dinner party an hour after
That's
you
most people's
way to apologize
situation.
if you mess up. The best ways to revitalize when you run down. The
Yeah, but you
5
gotta
signs
make sure
of
you
office
really
sabotage.
are smarter
How
than
to
your
get off
boss.
the hit list.
Instead of thinking you
Use
are.
your Savvy to
Because
learn
there
how
are
most
most
other
people that
women
think
have made
they
their
are,
lives
and
or their millions.
they
And
get
size up
themselves
the
in
women who run
trouble.
60 of America's
Oh,
biggest
yeah.
corporations. Subscribe now. Get 1 year, 12 issues for only $11.97. More than 50% off the newsstand price. Call 1-800-228-3320.
So that's about $1 an issue.
As a free gift, this
If that
extraordinary
magazine
60-page
still
handbook,
exists,
Winning
you're gonna pay
Strategies
about
for the
$10
Woman
for that sucker
18
today.
problem-solving strategies that can
An
turn your
issue.
career around. Read Savvy for just 1 year. If you don't get a promotion in that very same year, we'll refund your money. You can't lose. So call for Savvy
You
now.
can't lose.
1-800-228-2323.
Buy the magazine.
1-800-228-2323.
If you don't get a raise,
persistence in forecast.
Yeah, they're not always right,
your
but
money
that's why
back.
they're a non-profit organization.
What is this?
Well,
today
we have everything right there, except we purposely left the forecast out. I was leaving that until the last minute.
Yeah, that's why it's being so evasive.
Yeah, to vacillate or
you left it out. The
vacillate.
street's going to be wet tomorrow.
No, I don't think so. A few sprinkles tonight, but decreasing overnight, and then tomorrow, partly cloudy. In fact, I think mostly sunny
How is
by
that a
afternoon tomorrow.
commercial?
And a slow warming.
I don't
Your
know.
forecast went over to visit Carol Dota. That was kind of fun.
I don't know. This
Well, I
guy
would
put
too,
some
if I
shit
could.
in.
Well,
Jeff.
you can if you just say,
Adios quickly.
we'll get out of here.
You know, live theater fascinates you as nothing else does. I've been hooked since I was a kid. Comedy, tragedy, musicals. I love them all. The director brings something to it, the actor,
The Odd
staging,
Couple.
and you bring something. Without you, there wouldn't be any theater. So go.
Subscribe today, 775-5811.
Buying this house. For 3 months, that's all we thought about.
There were so many questions.
That's a
We were
fake
convinced we'd
mustache.
never qualify.
How you qualify for something you don't understand?
Needless to say, we were a tad nervous talking to Richard O'Neill at Home Savings about a loan. But he cleared up all the details, and now it's all ours.
Our house, our trees, our weeds.
It's people like the Hamiltons who make Home Savings $24 billion strong. Well, this is the
Look how
week when
old
the
that
best
was.
and worst dressed celebrities are unveiled by people. People celebrates people. But this week, some celebrities won't celebrate. Who's the most chic? Who isn't chic at all? And how they shop till they drop. It's all in this week's People, along with some fond goodbyes to the great Orson. And why is Nancy's dog on? Every week, People's a celebration of the people you'll be talking about next. Week after week, People celebrates people. This week, the best and even better, the worst dressed.
That's a wrap. In the 415 area, call 976-2345. Write it down. The number to call for people who want to appear in films, videos, and TV commercials. In the Bay Area, all types and ages are needed now. Extras, actors, and even street performers. This is not a school. No experience is necessary, so call 976-2345 now. For a $2 phone call, it's your casting call line. In the 415 area, 976-2345. If lines are busy, write that number down and call back.
$2 plus toll, if any.
Breast cancer can be cured if detected early enough. Mine
There
was.
were phone
10 years
tolls
ago,
back
a
then.
radiologist performed a mammogram, a breast x-ray that detected a tumor before either my doctor or I could feel a lump. It was treated immediately and the cancer hasn't come back. I'm alive today because I took the time to have that x-ray. The American Cancer Society recommends mammography as the most effective way of detecting breast cancer early. If you're over 35,
And it's
ask your
squish.
doctor. A mammogram could help save your life.
I pledge allegiance to the flag. You know, it was that pledge and the flag on the wall behind me.
I've been breaking my back on this farm all my life. But whenever I start asking why, I think of my son, my boy.
My dad? He's great.
He's always there for me. His mama made me promise that he'd be special, that I'd send him to college. But she didn't tell me how.
He didn't. Somehow he didn't.
By keeping tuitions affordable at 43 predominantly black colleges, the United Negro College Fund has helped provide the quality education needed to fulfill some very important dreams.
You know what he studied to be?
That one.
He's called an agronomist. You know agriculture and all? Because he says he wants to come back, help his old man.
Support the United Negro College Fund.
I remember this commercial.
She helped him read it.
Yeah, Joe remembers this commercial because it helped him.
This is what it's like
Yeah,
to be
whatever.
functionally illiterate. Unable to read a job application,
Dude,
a street sign,
I sucked
or a
it. I
bedtime
sucked
story to a
at
child.
listening spelling, so.
There are 27 million Americans like this. 27 million.
And
We could help them, but we need your help. Call the Coalition for Literacy at this number and volunteer. The only degree you need is a degree of caring.
I think I can. I think I can. I think I can.
Have you ever thought about the frustrations that handicapped people go through every day of their lives? Just doing little things that most of us take for granted.
Doesn't that
Like
look
getting through a
like,
revolving door that
what's
doesn't
his
slow down
name?
for someone who must move slowly.
That
Or going through the trouble of getting a postal money order. And how about lunch at that fancy new restaurant with a great view? You know, the one at the top of the steep stairway.
out of the South out there. He's not going to be running anymore.
Sneaks into the spot reserved for the handicapped.
I don't know. Oh, you mean that little weasel bro?
Crossing a busy intersection during rush hour isn't all that simple either.
The one
I'm Chad Colley,
Chris,
National Commander of the Disabled American Veterans, and helping our handicapped friends has been a way of life for the DAV for more than 60 years. To find out how you can help make life barrier-free for the more than 12 million handicapped Americans, write the DAV, 807 Main Avenue Southwest,
Disabled
Washington,
American
D.C.
Veteran.
20024.
The Dave program.
Ladies
Ray
and
Charles.
gentlemen, Ray Charles.
There are 35 million people with disabilities.
I may
in
have
America
to
today.
retire.
Do you know what we want out of life? Well, the same things you
Well,
do.
if you want to retire,
participate,
you can come
to
up here
use
for a
our
minute.
abilities to the fullest. That means
What?
being able to get in and out of
If
places.
you're going to cut off, come up here for a minute.
But you?
Yes.
Why?
Just because I want to talk to you for a minute.
Are we done?
Can I
I
get
don't
out of
know.
here first?
I'm done.
I'm just saying I'll probably take Jazzy out to go potty and
Yeah, here, I can remove you like this. So anyway, I don't know. That was kind of a little boring on that one.
I got one. I got one to show you if I can find it again. This is a local one here. Okay.
Yeah.
Can offer a $200 bicycle with a $199 purchase. Fisher K-Tech for $199 with a bike. How can American do it? See for yourself.
Oh yeah, American.
Terrain bike,
That
a
was
15-speed
Crazy Lenny.
all-terrain bike. A choice of bikes is yours with thousands
That's
of items
Crazy
at
Lenny.
American. Bugged frame, alloy brakes, component crank, easy off-wheel. These are $200 bikes. They're yours. This pair of recliners for $299, two recliners for $299, and a bike worth over $200. This brass and glass dinette only $299, and you get.
All right. Now I'm going to give it a scoop on this.
Yeah, that was a scoop.
That's the guy that started American TV.
I know who it is.
Okay. He's
Crazy
also related to Dwayne and I.
That's funny.
But now the scoop is that wasn't the scoop. The scoop is when Dwayne worked for American, he worked for the one on the Beltline, loading and unloading trucks, long before he was driving for a living. Okay. He used to have to put them fucking bikes together. He was saying those were $200 bikes.
Mm-hmm.
And we're giving them away with stuff at $199. No, they weren't $200 bikes. They may have been $200 bikes, but because he bought them in such quantities, it cost him about $10 to $20 a piece.
That's about right.
That guy was a shyster.
I know he was. He still is. He has a electric bike shop now over off of Odana Road.
I mean, I'll never forget those commercials. And I did have one of those bikes, and it wasn't so bad, you know. But still, I mean, it's like if I were to go to like Yellow Bike or Yellow Jersey Bike or whatever that's called, or you know, one of those bike stores, and bought that bike, it would have cost me about $200. But because he bought in such quantity, he got a deep discount.
Right.
You know, and then he had his employees that worked on loading and unloading trucks in their, when they didn't have nothing to do, they were putting together those bikes. So now when you get those home, and I was lucky because Dwayne worked there at the time when I got one for, you know, got one with whatever it was that I purchased. He's like, when you get that bike home, and he says, because I can't guarantee it, he says, you go around and tighten all the bolts and nuts on it. You know, because some of his players are just putting it together just to look good, so they weren't tightening up everything properly. I could see that how many lawsuits he got just by somebody riding one of those bikes after they get it and the tire falling off or something. Wouldn't that be a bitch?
Yeah.
Why don't you find something?
I'm looking. I don't see anything.
Well, stay within the 80s. I'll go to the 70s if you have to right now. We're on the last half of the second hour. Well, tomorrow on Insane Asylum, we're going to have Dale Kazmarek with us. Hopefully, the other half of what I had planned, hopefully that works out. We'll have to wait and see. And then Saturday.
Certain things from the 70s kids today will never understand.
Hey, hold on. Let me finish my little spew here. Tomorrow on Insane Asylum, like I said, Dale Kazmarek will be with us. Tomorrow on, what's it called again? To the Grave and Back. I'm actually, this show normally airs on Thursdays, 3 p.m. our time. But they had a switch because of a guest or something. So it's going to be tomorrow, 3 p.m. our time. And I'm basically a permanent co-host or whatever of this show. It's called it's out of the UK. It's a podcast. It can be found on Facebook and YouTube called To the Grave and Back. And then Saturday, I can't tell you the name of the show, but Saturday I'm gonna be interviewed by Kate from the Things Network. So I'm sure that show will be posted on the Things Network when it goes live, and that I'm not sure exactly what time that is. I think it's 2 or 3 o'clock Friday or Saturday. I mean, okay.
All right.
Understand.
Says 13 things from the 70s kids today will never understand.
Yep.
There are some things that are unique to the decade that we grew up in. The 1970s was no different, having a distinct style that is easily recognizable, even to newer generations.
Oh, wow.
The obvious disco and bell-bottom trends.
Pause
There
it,
were more
pause it,
minute
pause it.
details that people living during that time
Pause
could
it.
easily recognize. So here
Yeah.
are 13 things from the 1970s.
Back to that.
Yeah. That table looks like just about every kid's table at Thanksgiving time or Christmas time in the 70s. Where you would have all your cousins, your brothers, sisters, cousins, you know, and stuff there for Christmas. Like a big family Thanksgiving or Christmas. And they always had a kids' table.
Yeah. So. So you ready to go on now?
Yeah. I
that
just
people
wanted to
living
mention
during
that.
time will easily recognize. So here are 13 things
They're
from
in
the
the back of a
1970s.
station wagon.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Did you want to or not?
If you want to, yeah.
Kids today would never understand.
Where can I look? Radio.
Options for watching TV were very
We
different
can
during
do
the
it in a minute.
1970s.
When we're
For
done
one,
with this,
there
the
were really
rest
only
will tell
3
you.
TV channels plus public broadcasting. That's right,
Just
just
let me know.
3. No streaming services, no endless options. You'd also have to get up and manually turn the dial to change channels.
Yeah,
It
we
was a
were
time
there.
in which
I
we
was the
waited for our
remote.
favorite shows, which
Look
included
at that
nightly
wallpaper.
shows that were popular.
I remember this stuff too.
Yeah.
Stuff here.
Yeah, it wasn't even real bricks.
Damn, that looks like you. Because you're that rude.
That's not even real
Saturday morning
bricks, though,
cartoons.
in
It
most
was a big
cases
deal
back
when
in
you
the
could throw in a
70s.
big bowl of
No,
cereal
I'm saying
and
though,
hours of your
this one here, this looks like you.
Yeah,
'Cause you're that rude. Look, the little man here is trying to look at and see the whole thing, and you got your toes up there in his way.
I did do that.
favorite animated shows. But with the limited options on the television, it's no wonder kids spent so much time outside. Well,
But
and
that
the
was like
fact that
that.
some
It's
parents
like
made
this
their
wood
kids go
paneling.
outside and play.
Yeah, this wood paneling and that
Right there behind him, wood paneling. Kind of
Right.
like what's in my house.
that wood paneling. No, this was that. This is
You can see in my house here.
yours actually looks better than this. This is that cheap stuff from the 70s. But then you also had that
During the
that,
70s, making
that stuff that brick was like plastic that was kind of like you had this sticky stuff on it and you put it on the wall to make it look like real brick walls. I remember my mom buying that crap.
The brick wasn't plastic. Those were actual, really thin, laid out. Put the stucco on the wall and then you put those on.
Well, either way,
The actual full brick.
They also had a
and then the
plastic.
stucco that you'd put up there and then you'd stick that on there.
Well, I
It
remember
wasn't
there
plastic. It was actually clay.
I remember one that was plastic, like wallpaper.
We had the same stuff set up for our wood burning stove. Dad covered the wall because it was designed to take the heat.
But I'm just saying, see, in here in maybe they didn't have it in California because people were so rich out there.
We weren't rich.
But it was like
I came from a family, Joe. I came from a family. Most of my shit during my childhood was hand-me-downs. I wore a hand-me-down. I had four brothers and 2 sisters.
Look at that.
I had a lot of hand-me-down toys. I had a lot of hand-me-down clothing.
You know, when did they stop making things like that?
This tape deck?
Because, you know, after a certain time.
When shit when they discovered that they were making them too good, and they weren't breaking when they needed to, so they could get replaced.
After a certain point, the tape decks that would come that you'd have, you know, as individual units or whatever components, the individual components. You didn't have the meters, and you didn't have the counter on them.
Tape counter right there, and these are your volume meters. And
Right.
This is something. This was actually a tape deck that was designed for recording.
I actually had that one.
I had a dual tape deck.
Nope, I actually had that one.
And I bought it with my own fucking money that I earned. You know what irritates the crap out of me is my siblings always accuse me of being mama's little boy and getting everything I wanted. They didn't realize I actually worked my butt off to get what I wanted.
Yeah, see, I ain't gonna go there, but I know how that goes.
Yeah.
But see, the difference is, you know, for those that, let's just put it this way, how can I put it? For those born with like a silver spoon in their mouth and got everything mommy and daddy, you know, they wanted, they got, right? Well, you know, it makes you, when you have to work your ass off, bust your ass to earn the money and save it to get what you want, it makes you appreciate it that much more than having it given to you.
Yeah. All right, I'm going again.
Patience and dedication to sit by the radio for hours, waiting for the right song to be played.
Yeah.
It didn't matter how good your timing was.
Oh, wow.
Real.
I had one of those too.
Right time,
that one, but one like it.
Talking over the intro. And that was just part of the charm. Cassettes had their quirks too, like when they got tangled and you'd have to use a pencil to wind them back in. Cassettes made it pretty easy to create what we know today as a playlist. And this was the first time we could listen anywhere we wanted.
Screwdriver.
That was an old boombox.
Underoos! Or Superman or Batman. Well, if you did during the 1970s, then you most likely had on a pair of superhero underoos. For many kids, they served a dual purpose. They were underwear and part of a costume.
And man, we had no choice at Christmas time.
Superhero underoos were more than just clothing. They were your identity, especially the ones that matched the actual superhero outfit.
I had Spider-Man, Batman.
Never appreciate their underwear.
Spider-Man, Batman, and Superman, and so did Dwayne.
Recollection Road is proud to partner
one of
with
us had Aquaman.
Pro. Watch until the end of this video to learn more about preserving your loved one's stories in a beautifully printed book.
And I think the other one was Flash.
Gift. Visit lifestorypro.com/recollection.
It was like Christmas and birthday, but she bought them.
During the
there's something.
Were not just places to buy music.
Hold it. I got something. I love this one. You know, I loved record stores.
Yep.
I loved vinyl because music did sound different, but I loved it. All right. I loved record stores. They don't exist anymore as much as they used to. There used to be like six of them alone on State Street. Okay. And two or three of them were like those used record stores, you know.
You can do that now. You can find used record stores now. Everything's
but here's the thing. For me, it was like one of those places to go, you kind of you know, it was better than going to a bar to pick up a woman because at least you know you'd have the similar taste in music. Let's just put it that way. But yeah, I do too. I miss record stores. I really do. Because you go there, people, like-minded people, talk about your favorite artists, the new music, the new albums coming out.
The coolest one we had in town was over at West Town Mall. I believe it was called Suncoast or something like that.
Oh, they had a Suncoast at West Town here in town, but it was.
That's what I just said.
But it was also videos and stuff.
Yeah. I said the coolest one was over at West Town Mall. No, I said West Town Mall.
They could have had a West Town Mall in California, for Christ's sake. It's not copyrighted.
And if I was talking about, no, quit looking in the mirror and talking to yourself. But if I was talking about Cali, I would have said in Cali. I said here. I literally said the coolest one that I remember was here at West Town Mall.
Yeah, but see, the coolest ones were around here before your time.
Whatever.
Before you got here to Wisconsin.
I'm done with you.
Young people would hang out with friends.
Oh, I'm just saying, Suncoast came in later.
Before they purchased
Before that, there was Off the Wall Records.
We're also music.
You would have loved that store.
They would recommend hidden gems.
Musicland was a big box
to strike
store.
up a conversation with a stranger
What was
who
the
was
other
into
one?
the same music as you. So the local record store was a special
But
place.
Madison
And yet
was
another experience
loaded
was
with
hard.
those.
You're talking over him. He's even telling the same story you did. Talking about using their local record stores to picking up girls.
Yeah, I see that. But I'm just saying, Madison, before that Suncoast, Madison was loaded with them.
Hitchhiking during the 1970s
Oh, that girl
was
looks
surprisingly
familiar.
easy and acceptable.
All
It was
girls
very
back
common
then
to see
do.
people thumbing
Yeah,
a
but
ride on
no,
the
she
side of the
looks
road.
really familiar.
Drivers would
Like
often not hesitate to
that's
pick
got to
up
be from a
hitchhikers,
movie. I'm
and it was
thinking.
seen as a way to help
That
out a
scene.
fellow traveler. There was more of a sense of camaraderie on the open road back then, and that's hard to
Look at that
understand
hairstyle.
in today's world.
Definite
But it wasn't
70s.
without risk.
That's
and there
great,
was
man.
still a chance
Oh, I
you
love
might
the
encounter a
Vans.
few weirdos.
I loved the
And that was
Vans
just
from
part of
back
the
then.
fun. Nowadays, it's illegal to hitch free rides in many places, but back then, it wasn't unusual to find a service member, a
The
student,
short
or
shorts.
even a hippie thumbing for a ride.
Damn.
When we think back to the 1970s, men had some serious style. They had manly
Not me.
mustaches,
No,
sideburns,
men
big hair,
did not
and that
have
distinct
serious
aroma of
style.
aftershave wafting around them. It was all about the macho look, and men took their grooming pretty seriously.
Yeah,
This was also
so many
coupled with some
men,
pretty
you know, that
creative
look like
choices in
Tom
clothing,
Selleck
too.
or Burt
And as long as
Reynolds.
you could leave a couple of
And
buttons
I know that
undone
wasn't
so you
Tom
could show off
Selleck,
your
but that
hairy
was the
chest,
point.
you were
in
good
that
to go.
cigarette
I know.
ad.
Nothing quite matches the swagger men had in the 1970s.
Bee Gees.
Don't forget looking like what's his
Speaking
name?
of
Oh, that was
grooming,
the 80s.
ladies
So
too had their own unique
Miami
products
Vice,
to give them
you know,
that
everybody
1970s
dressing like
look.
Don Johnson.
Sun was all
Where
the
the boys
rage,
are.
promising sun-kissed highlights. Women would spray it into their hair and head outside hoping for those perfect golden locks. And who doesn't remember the smell of Love's Baby Soft, a signature scent from the 1970s? The sweet, youthful fragrance was a defining smell that had all the girls wearing Baby Soft. But I'm not sure the ad campaign would fly today.
No.
When the telephone
There
that
you
hung in
go.
the kitchen rang, it was always answered. This was before caller
Kids
ID.
today
so
would
people
never
had
be
no
able to
idea
handle
who was
that.
calling.
How
Can you
does that
imagine?
work?
You didn't know if it was your
Well,
best
let's
friend
see.
or
You
a
got to
sales
know the
call,
phone
which
number. You
meant
got
there
to
was a
dial
chance
it.
that
You
you
got to
might
wait for it
recognize
to
the
get
voice on
back.
the other
And
end
so
and
you
spend
dial
some
one
time
number
getting
and
you
it
to sit
takes
up
a
in the
little
phone
while. It's
cord
not
while you
like push
talked,
button.
or you might be yelling across the house
And
to
you
let
can't
someone
go
else
too
know
far
the
away
call was
because
for
you're
them.
attached to that
Today's
phone with
kids
that
might find
cord.
it unbelievable that we willingly picked up the phone without the slightest clue
I've
as
done
to
that.
who was on
Just
the
sitting
other
there
end.
or sitting in a closet close by with a cord. I was, because the cord went
To best capture the
that
moments
far.
in the 1970s,
Polaroids.
you absolutely needed a Polaroid camera. The idea of hitting the button and instantly getting a picture developed was gratifying, but you had to be selective because each roll of film only had a certain
That or
number
you
of
went to the
pictures.
mall.
And then there was the practice of
That
shaking
that
the picture to
that
help
was
it
our way
develop
of
faster,
selfies.
which was just a
The
myth.
Polaroid
But you couldn't
camera.
take the bulky
Or
Polaroid
you'd
camera
go to the
with
mall
you everywhere.
right there.
So there were also photo
Photo
booths
booths.
that
I
were
was gonna say you go to the mall
strategically
to one of
placed
those
where
old
teenagers
fashioned photo
congregated.
booths.
Places like
They don't even look
arcades,
like that no
malls,
more.
and roller rinks were ideal. So best friends and couples could capture the day with a series of goofy and fun pictures.
Yup. Spent a lot of money in those machines over
If
the
you were to
years.
step back in time,
My
and
mom
look at
had
the
that set.
1970s
I
kitchen,
shit you
you'd
not.
probably find a fair share of
I
mushroom
shit
themed
you
decor,
not. She had that mushroom
plates,
set.
mushroom curtains, mushroom wallpaper. They were everywhere.
She didn't have the
Everything back then
wallpaper. She
seemed
had
to have
the
an earthy
ceramic.
aesthetic, and mushrooms must have been the perfect fungus to represent
She had
that
that
style.
ceramic
I
set,
guess you'd call it charm, and every corner of the room seemed to be inspired by it.
including the salt and pepper shakers.
As you waited for the weekend and that special morning of cartoons, you also needed a sugary cereal to help you enjoy it. The 1970s was all about finding the best surprise toy inside the cereal box. Kids would beg their parents for a certain brand of cereal,
they don't even
not
have
because of the taste, but because
they don't
of the
even
toy.
have stuff
It may
like
have been
that.
a silly game or a small figurine,
Hey,
but it
how
was
about
like
a
finding a
record?
treasure when you dug down to the bottom of the box and pulled out the
Yeah,
prize.
bicycle
This
reflector. I
excitement
had
made morning
those.
cereal more than just breakfast, which is much different than today.
Or cutting the record off the back of the box and playing it on the
Opening a beer
phonograph.
or
I
soda
remember
can in
those.
the 1970s
I've cut
was
my
a bit
feet
different than
on
what we're
plenty of
used to
those
today.
over the
You'd
years.
pull the ring back and peel back the aluminum tab. And back then, most of the tabs were just tossed on the ground.
Yeah,
Sharp pieces of discarded metal were a nuisance,
exactly.
especially on beaches or places where you
That's
might
my
walk
point.
barefoot. These pull tabs were just
I
another
used to
hazard
run
that we
barefoot a
faced,
lot
and the
when I was
tops
a
would
kid
change shortly
and as
after
a
to the more
teenager.
familiar
Look at
skate
that,
tabs that you
35
recognize
cents for a
today.
can
But it
of
was
fucking
still all
soda.
part of the fun of living
And
in
it's
the
not even,
1970s.
and it's still partially a tin
Last but
can.
not
You can
least,
tell by
school
looking at
lunch
it.
in the 1970s wasn't complete without a trusty metal lunchbox and the matching
Fun.
thermos. These lunchboxes not only
I had
showed off
both
our favorite
metal and
characters from pop
plastic,
culture,
the
but they
plastic
often
ones.
also had their fair share of
GG's.
rust on them
Very
too.
good.
Any
We got
ding
like
or
a new one
scratch
every
would quickly
year up
rust
until
over, and our parents didn't seem to
like
mind either.
sometime in middle
Remember the
school.
smell of opening a metal lunchbox after a long, hot day? Kids today, with their ice packs and insulated lunch bags, will never fully understand what it was like to grow up in the 1970s.
We pals, kid power.
Let me know in the comments if I missed anything, and make sure to
A
sign up
lot.
for the
You missed a
Recollectionator
lot.
newsletter using the link in the description.
That was a good way for us to take soda to school at a young age too, and get away with it.
Yeah.
Because my thermos most of the time was filled with soda, because Dwayne and I got free school lunches. So, we took a lunch, like a sandwich and a lunchbox and stuff, just in case we didn't, and half the time Dwayne would be trading the shit or selling his stuff, and just eating the free lunch. He'd be going around selling the little Debbies for like a quarter.
All right. You got a line test.
And it wasn't like, when we got to like high school, in elementary school, middle school, there wasn't much for you to spend your money on. And besides that, Dwayne was kind of like Cameron. You shove a lump of coal up his ass, in 2 weeks, you'd have a diamond. Okay.
Yep.
He was a tightwad when it came to money, even when he was a little kid. But he'd sell these little Debbies and his sandwiches and stuff for money. And he'd eat the free lunch. And because, he'd save it up, and he'd be able to go to West Town Mall or something and be able to get whatever the hell they wanted back then. It's like, and Mom would start packing because she found out he was selling his little Debbies, so she ended up packing another one, saying, "You're going to promise me you're going to eat this?" And he's like, "Yes, Mom, I promise I'm going to eat this." And it's like, "No, this is I'm going to sell this one too. That's like double the money now." I mean, Dwayne wasn't stupid. But in high school, hell, I mean, I still would have gotten the free lunch and stuff in high school too. But the thing was, at La Follette, when I went to school at La Follette, we had that, God damn it, the commons area. And you could go there in the morning and get like a bagel, and you could buy stuff, and it tasted much better than the actual school lunch. And that thing was open in the morning and then at lunchtime. But we also had off campus. So by high school, I was, way off campus.
Yeah.
The other thing they didn't show is one of the most iconic, and and from the 70s, you know, one of the most iconic restaurant commercials there ever was McDonald's, because of Ronald and all of them characters.
Yeah, I know.
You know, they didn't show it, they showed a pizza joint, you know. Big deal. You should have showed a McDonald's commercial from that, you know, with Grimace and Hamburger and, you know, their hijinks. You know, I can't believe, yeah, Grimace. You know, that's the only purple dinosaur that was worth a shit. If that's what he was.
A dinosaur.
All right, but closest thing, he looked better than Barney. But, you know, they could have showed better things. If I had done that thing, I'd have done it better. You know, they were much cooler things from the 70s and the 80s that came out that made our childhood so great. I mean, when they first invented walkie-talkies, you know, remember when they first invented walkie-talkies, we all had to have one.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then they did I don't know if they ever did this, if you saw these in California, but they had like a home-based CB unit that you could buy. They came with 2 walkie-talkies. It was like a toy. Okay. But it was like a home CB unit type thing, and actual had CB channels and stuff, and so did the walkie-talkies. We ended up picking up truckers when they got really close by on that.
I know, Dad had one.
You know, no, but these were a toy from that were made for kids.
Yeah, but my dad had an actual CB.
A home-based CB.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
a 50-foot antenna on the roof of the house.
This wasn't meant to pick up truckers back then. Okay, it was like a portable radio. Okay, you had the AM radio station and stuff on there, and that kind of stuff. And then it was to communicate with the walkie-talkies that came with it. You know, you weren't supposed to pick up truck drivers on it like a CB. And because we weren't too, you know, because we were like over there, and when I got this, I was living in over on Gammon Road in that area. So we weren't too far from that the belt line that went through there. So, you know, and back then you didn't have the new belt line. It was just one belt line. So that was heavily traveled upon. And where we were pretty close to it. And it's like, yeah. Well, we also were able to pick up the drive-in from there too with it. Pick up the drive-in's radio channel so we could sit up on the hill with a pair of binoculars, watch the drive-in movie, and hear it too on our AM radio. But nowadays, if you had an AM/FM handheld radio, I bet it'd be hard to pick up anything in some areas because of all the interference from the alarms. That, you know, the stores didn't have the alarms that they could do today. And all the cell service, you know, all that stuff, the radio waves from the cells and all that would be interfering in it. I bet that toy, if I still had that thing, I bet it wouldn't pick up any truck drivers at all. Because of the interference. I mean, it goes to show you how, you know, the traffic that you don't see. You know, the radio signals and stuff from the cell towers, satellite dishes, you know, because there wasn't really a satellite dish unless you were a fucking millionaire back then, you know. And cable didn't come out and satellite didn't come out until the 80s, late 80s.
My brother wasn't a millionaire, and he had a satellite dish.
Right, but all right, you know what I'm saying is those things didn't come out, and they weren't cheap when they first came out.
Not really, no.
You know, but those didn't exist. But see, nowadays you've got all of that air traffic with all that, the radio waves, whatever kind of waves going from the satellite dishes, the cell services, you know. It'd be a wonder you could get an AM channel on a small little handheld portable that took just the 9-volt battery. You know, like those little extras that they'd give you because, you go to a drive-in, my car stereo don't work or my battery, so they go and give you this little, you give them the driver's license and they gave you a little handheld that was about this, you could fit it in your shirt pocket. And that's what you got to listen to the movie on if you didn't have a radio in your car. Your battery wouldn't hold up for a whole movie to leave the radio running. But
anyway,
not different.
It's getting close to 7. I'm actually getting hungry and want to go eat.
Yeah, what are you going to have for eat?
I don't know yet.
You don't know yet?
No.
You suck. You should know by now.
Yeah, whatever.
Oh,
is the woman feeding you?
No, I feed myself. I have an odd schedule.
So Janet says Heath bar.
She still wants a Heath bar.
Yeah. And Cassie wants Little Caesars.
Little Caesars. Yeah. Anyway. All right. I'll talk to you later. All
right. Bye, guys.
Bye. Stay safe. Have a great weekend. We'll see you tomorrow on Insane.
Log in and watch us tomorrow on Insane Asylum.
Stay safe. We'll be back tomorrow with Dale.
Bye.
Bye.